Welcome to the InHer Circle podcast with MsHoliness, bringing you a dose of inspiration from the ground to greatness, starting now.
Welcome, people of purpose. This is the InHer Circle podcast, episode 11, entitled "This Love Stuff is Demanding." So I am MsHoliness, and I am so happy that you decided to tune in today with me for a dose of inspiration. So today is my birthday, you guys. Yay! This is a special birthday edition, but before we get started, I want to do a recap of last month's episode. So last month's episode was entitled "On Your Mark, Get Set, Go." So that episode was indicative that no matter what you have going on in your life, you have to execute, follow through to completion, and get done all of the plans and purpose that have been tasked to your hands. You know, like all of the vision, all of the dreams, all of the goals that have been instinctually placed down on the inside of you. You have to cause them to come to full fruition and manifest in an excellent way. So let's get into today's episode. Okay, you guys, as I first stated, this is my birthday. So let's clap it up again. Woo! So yes, today is my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. And I want to talk about how this love stuff is demanding. Now, I know some of you probably think I'm talking about a romantic love, a filial love, but no, I'm talking about the love for your passion. The thing that drives you to get up and keep going and do what you do like you do it every day, in and out, day and night, all day, every day, okay? So I know sometimes along our paths to purpose, all right, the love for our passions can become demanding. We can have so many people pulling at us from every direction, and we begin to feel weighted and inundated, all right? But in your feeling weighted and inundated, I want to suggest to you that, like I did for a whole month, okay, I went on a sabbatical where I took a whole month off to kind of just like rest, relax, and reset. Sometimes that reset is necessary simply because this love thing is demanding when you're pursuing purpose. Because I have this adage that if you're no good to yourself, you can't be no good to anybody else in any area of their lives, all right? So with that being said, it's crucial and it's essential for us to always be evaluating, doing a self-evaluation, taking inventory of our mental health, of our eating patterns, of our diets, just our health in totality with all, to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in the best light. Because we don't want to run into what I like to call burnout, all right? Burnout is nobody's friend. Burnout is the enemy of the entrepreneur. Burnout is the enemy of every person of purpose that is pursuing purpose and excellence. And sometimes, though we may not want to burn out, we get to a place where we're on the brink of burning out. And when you get just about on the brink of burnout, that's when you kind of sit back and say this love stuff is demanding, all right? And though this love stuff may be demanding, after you rest, relax, and reset, it's imperative for you to get right back at it, go hard, go strong, and run long, all right? So that you can bring all the purpose to fruition that you've been called to bring to fruition, into the forefront. Because there are people out here relying on you. They're relying on your voice. They're relying on your presence. They're relying on your brand. They're relying on what you have to offer. They're relying on your skill, your app, your depth and ability. It's kind of like they need you to survive. And I know you're probably like, what? Like, people need me to that degree? Yes, people need you to that degree. Can you guys imagine how it is for people at times when I have to remove my voice from different platforms, from different sectors? People be like, MsHoliness, when are you coming back? MsHoliness, we miss you here, we miss you there. And even I'll be giving y'all pictures all across social media. I give y'all those fly dope pics, as I'm going to be flooding you off with some pictures on the eve of my birthday. But yes, you guys, your voice matters. Your gift matters, all right? What you bring to the community and to the culture matters, all right? There is somebody who is still getting up with purpose because of you, because you are their inspiration, because you are inspiring them. And that's why even when this love stuff, this purpose thing gets demanding, you're going to still go in and go at it like you never had before, because you understand the weight of the responsibility that is tied to you fulfilling everything God has called you to do. Well, we're going to go to a commercial break really quickly, you guys, and then we're going to jump right back into it.
And now a word from our sponsors. Nerd Boy Rich Clothing for your hottest urban streetwear. MHW Creations, servicing all your literary needs. and Ace the Weave Doctor. Hair extensions done right. For sponsorship opportunities, inquire within. And now back to the program.
So, yes, that was a word from our sponsors, and we are back with episode 11, all right, entitled This Love Stuff is Demanding. So, as I first stated, even in the love stuff being demanding, you guys, you have to finish what you started. I don't need for you to get so inundated with the stresses and cares of life and with the weight of what's attached to your calling, all right? It is the case that because you have this calling over your life, because you have been graced to do it, that you can in fact get it done. All right. You can get it done in the strength and in the prowess and in the power of the presence that lies on the inside of you. You know, I always like to talk about that power presence that we all have down on the inside of us, and that it's just a matter of unleashing it and releasing it so that you can fulfill purpose. You hear what I'm saying to you? So where destiny and purpose is concerned, you have to continue on and keep going, even when this love stuff gets demanding. So I'm just going to give you guys a few tips, a few pointers on what I do when this love stuff gets demanding. I know I just let you all know that I was on a sabbatical for 30 days. So that is a good go-to when you're starting to feel like you're on the brink of burnout so that you won't crash and explode, okay? Or so that you won't implode and go off on somebody. So yeah, when you see it fit or advantageous, take you some mental breaks. Retreat, get lots of rest and relax, all right? I'm talking respite here. You need some respite, all right? So another way that you can begin to unpack mentally when you're feeling like you're on the brink of burnout is do a lot of meditations, okay? A lot of meditating and praying, all right? Praying has been crucial and essential to my walk a lot of times because a lot of times I am my team, all right? I don't have other people that are here joined alongside to help me continuously build this brand. And when I do recruit people, essentially at points in times, they become lackadaisious or fall all the way off. So I always have to be the machine moving this brand, all right? But by the grace of God, I've been graced to be able to do it. So that's why I'm able to carry it on my back and go. And that's what I need for you all to get in the habit of doing, carrying things on your back and going with it, despite the fact that you're tired, all right? And I just want to finish giving you a few pointers on what to do when you're tired, because essentially tired equals burnout. So like I said, when you're on the brink of burnout, you can retreat, get you some respite, a sabbatical, or a nice vacation, you guys. So to my point, vacations always are a great way to refresh so that you can come back better than ever. Another thing that I like to do is massages. So if any of you are into massage, acupuncture, anything like that, try that. That also helps. I've tried all of these different methods that I'm suggesting to you. So I'm not just throwing them out there. I know that these methods actually work when it comes to trying to reset, relax, and regroup and get yourself together so that you can continue to run with the vision. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? So yes, we have retreat, we have respite, and we have sabbaticals, we have acupuncture, we have massages, we have vacations. Like, who don't love a vacation? If your life affords you to be able to take a vacation, I say take a vacation. As for me, for my birthday today, hey, let's clap it up. So I decided to go along with a staycation. So though I'm not traveling far away, I'm still going to endeavor to have me a mini staycation. All right, you guys. So I'm gearing up to get out of here to go to my staycation location. I'm going to be there for the space of 3 days. And I'm going to get me some more R&R. I'm going to go to some fancy restaurants. Okay, I have reservations for my birthday this evening at Joe Mears. And I'm just uber excited about that. And then I have a massage planned, all right? So I have a few things planned to kind of unwind, all right? Essentially, I kind of do stuff like this every year for my birthday, but this year it was needed and necessary, you guys, because I'm in the middle of transitioning. So not only am I pursuing purpose, but likewise, and in turn, I'm in the middle of transitioning. So yes, I am moving. Let's clap it up for that. Yeah. So I'm leaving one region, okay, one locale to relocate to another. So essentially, I was headed in one direction, but now I'm going in another. So at the core of things, I had to improvise, all right? I had my moving truck all set up to take me to my next location, which was to be in Florida. But Unfortunately, the place that I was going to lease, the person decided not to move out of the unit. All right, so it's a condo. And you guys know typically that I do a lease purchase or a lease to see if I like the area when I move into a new area before I purchase, because I don't want to be locked into anything. And I'm not really the kind that likes to landlord, all right? Maybe that'll change in the future when I get married and have a husband, because foreseeably he can oversee things like that. But as it stands, I like to move around, you guys. And I like to get a feel for a region, for an area to a great degree before I commit to being in that space for a long period of time. So I'm going back home towards my old region, to the East Coast, because I'm centrally located out here in the Midwest. And though it's been real out here, it is time to roll. Let's clap it up for that. Yay! Roll out. Roll out. Roll out. Roll out. You guys forgive me. I'm just so happy to be vacating this area. Now, don't get me wrong. The Midwest is a pretty cool, chill place. This is my first time ever living in this region. All right. So I'm out here in the Midwest and it is cold, you guys. Like back home around this time of the year, it typically wouldn't be this cold. But that's the one thing that I won't miss about living in the Great Lakes state of Michigan. The cold weather. I could do without it. All right. I could perfectly do without it. Back home in that tri-state area, in that Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware area, the weather is more conducive for me because that's the environment in which I'm used to. So this cold was a big switch up, you guys. But I had lots of fur, all right, because I'm a fur fan. No disrespect to any of my vegans out there, all right. I also like puffers, so I had a lot of New York Downs and things like that. So I was fine. But I'm not one who likes to do the cold constantly. And it gets really cold here, you guys. I'm talking about below zero, like freezing windshields and stuff like that. But God is good because essentially he didn't let it get too cold while I was living out here. But it just got cold enough. But yeah, that's enough about that spiel. So yes, I'm in the middle of transitioning and I'm still pursuing purpose. So that's why that sabbatical was necessary. That's why this staycation is necessary. That's why the massage is necessary, okay? So those are just some things to help you when you're on the brink of burnout. Another good thing that helps me when I'm on the brink of burnout, all right, when this love stuff gets demanding, when pursuing purpose gets demanding, is I begin to cut off access to me. It's not to say that I block everyone and that I'm never going to endeavor to talk to them again. But for a space, I just become reclusive, okay? I kind of shut everything down and kind of give everybody notice so that they know that I need a space to just breathe. And even though I may perfectly still be posting on the different platforms across social media, I'm not as accessible as I typically would be because I shut the DMs down. I get rid of Messenger and different things like that. I get rid of the WhatsApp. I get rid of whatever channel or medium people use to get in contact with me. I just shut it all down. And I kind of have me a me moment. So even if I still have to be working behind the scenes and doing different stuff, I just keep the chatter at a minimum, which means I'm not talking and communicating with people to the degree that I typically would. Like I told you, I do that by limiting my people interaction. So that's another good way to reset. Another way to reset is to spend time, continuous time with someone that you really like and enjoy. This doesn't have to be up close and personal time. It could be time on the phone, time spent on FaceTime, all right? And you use this time to deflect and reflect. And then you use this person, so to speak, to kind of talk about things that take your mind off of the tasks that have been assigned to your hands. So in nature, this is kind of like a go-to person, a release for you. Find a person that you can release and vent to, okay? Like your safe space. So in essence, find a safe place in a person or persons so that you can have that release and have somebody to take your mind off of the task, as I first stated, that have been tasked to your hands. And last but not least, all right, that whole prayer thing. Like I know I touched on prayer and meditation, but prayer is central. It's essential to your life when you are pursuing purpose. It's oh my God. Oh my gosh. It's like so important. I can't stress the importance of prayer. All right. Prayer has gotten me through so much along the way. Like so many times, unbeknownst to you all, I wanted to quit. I wanted to throw my hands up. I wanted to throw in the towel. I wanted to just go somewhere and get away. And I just wanted to go somewhere and get away, never to return again. But God, all right, it was that prayer. It was that prayer. It was that prayer that, that kept me grounded and kept me motivated and kept me going season after season, even when I didn't feel like it some days, you guys. Because like you all, as a person of purpose, I experience trauma, trials, and tribulations, and I go through tests. So I'm human. So even though I live at a different level and on a different playing field, okay, which means I essentially just trust God for everything that I need and for everything that I am, I still have my moments, all right? And in me having my moments, I have learned to rely on God, trust Him for who He is and for who I am. Trust what He said and trust that He's going to bring it to pass. So that's the thing that motivates me and keeps me going, that prayer. And prayer is just simply communication between you and God. So that's why I said that is essential and that is necessary. You need that as a person of purpose. So those were just a few tips that I had for you all, on how to avoid burnout. Do you hear what I'm saying to you when this love stuff gets demanding? And as it stands, at the end of this show, I always provide you guys with the number to the InHer Circle podcast that you can lend your voice to the discussions that we have here in our podcast episodes, because I want to hear some of your tips and tricks that you use to prevent burnout when you're on the brink of it, and how you too find ways to rest, relax, and reset when this love stuff, this purpose thing gets demanding. So now we're just going to segue over into our hot button topic for today. Yeah. So you guys, our hot button topic for today is about love, romance, and relationships. I get a lot of questions, via InHer Circle Live hotline. And a few questions that I've got have been geared around dating and relationships. So I want to talk about the dangers of dating, okay, and forming relationships in this day and age. And not just where the gaslighting is concerned and the narcissist is concerned. I'm talking about STIs, you guys. It was brought to my attention by my cousin, who's a registered nurse in the state of Pennsylvania, that there is a flesh-eating STI, all right, by the name of Danovenosis, all right? I know that is like, wow, mind-blowing. I've never heard of such a thing, but here we have it. Now, when I say I've never heard of such a thing, which means this is the first of its kind in my day that I've seen running rampant through communities, much like HIV, herpes, and syphilis, all right, to that degree. And it's so ironic because I kind of touched on a flesh-eating bacteria that was going to hit the U.S. By way of MsHoliness Rights. So, over at MsHoliness Rights, which is my brand and ministries page, I do prophecies, I foretell events and different things like that. Well, back in July of this year, I talked about a flesh-eating bacteria that was coming, all right? And also back in December 2020, I talked about it. And I didn't know exactly how it was coming. I didn't know it was going to be an STI. I just figured that it was going to be, transmitted between animals to people or something like that. That was as much as I got from it. And that's not to say that's not how it's essentially transmitted, but now it's being transmitted through sexual intercourse. So it's just like, wow. So not only do you have to look out for the STIs of old, now you got to look out for a flesh-eating bacteria that's communicable, which means you can get it from breathing on a person, from having an outbreak anywhere in your body, and it touches their body. Like, it's just weird. And I don't know if I just broke that communicable thing down properly, but you know what I'm talking about. You can basically get it from being up close and up on somebody, all right, which typically happens during sex. So this is just like so mind-blowing. All right. So you guys, with that being said, I want to get into this polygamy. I want to get into monogamy, and I want to talk about the dangers of dating multiple people in 2021 and this new flesh-eating bacteria, because I just feel like it is time for people to tighten up. So me per se, I'm abstinent. I've been abstinent since October of 2020, all right, for this very cause. And prior to that, I wasn't getting much anything, period. Because as a woman of God, I'm typically abstinent. I don't partake in sexual intercourse. However, I fell at points and times throughout my journey, and I had to ultimately get all the way back up. So that's just a wrap for me. I'm not trying to lay down with anybody nowadays, you guys. Let's clap on that. And not only is it just the self-love for me, but it's the God love for me. Like, I love God so much that I don't want to disappoint him no more. Like, I'm almost 40, you guys. Essentially today I turned 39 years old. Hey. But y'all know this is a good black and it don't crack. But I just want to keep myself in a place of God where he's pleased with me, because we always want to be found pleasing in God's sight. And I ain't going to go too churchy and too preachy on y'all, but I just want all of you who have been brought into authentic sonship through God, all right, to know that there are benefits when being pleasing in God's sight. There are benefits. But let's get back at the ranch. So we got this flesh eating STI that's out here. I perfectly like to play it safe, typically, no telling. So that was part of the reason why I released my ex. Like, he was here, there, and everywhere. And even though he knew those women, I didn't know those women. He wanted a poly relationship, and I didn't sign up for that. Like, it's monogamy for me. Back in my day before I got saved, I was pretty much a flexible person. But there is no flexibility now in Christ Jesus. Like, it's just going to be me for my partner and my partner for me. It's the me for him. And it's him for me. It's not me for me, okay? That me for me season is almost over. Me for me season is just about up. We gonna clap on that. Yes, it's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Because I know, like, nowadays with this dating pool, it's real strange, all right? Like, I've tried to get out here and date since last year, and everything's been a no. Just no, 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 no. I've been having to shut them all down, all right? Um, it's like, as soon as you start talking to a guy, the first thing that he's trying to offer you is some penis, all right? So, no, I'm going to need to be taken out on some dates. I'm going to need to be romanced. I'm going to need flowers. I'm going to need to be treated like the woman that I am, all right? Lady, like, treat her like a lady. Y'all know I can't sing, but I'm here anyway. I'm here for it. And these guys are just not that anymore. When I was coming up, all right, even if it was a blue collar worker, white collar, street pharmacist, which is a drug dealer, or a scammer, anybody, anybody that I endeavored to date, they knew how to treat a woman. These men nowadays, they don't put no effort in. It's just like, oh, what's up? How you doing? And just compliments, but no actions to follow. I'm about that action. So for me, it's easy to just fall back and not date right here, right now, in this day and age. And I'm good with falling back for right now. Because if I can't have what I want, I don't want nothing at all. And I definitely don't want no Donovanosis, all right? I don't want the flesh-eating STI. And that's basically what you can get when you out here moving around through these streets. So it's in the best interest of everybody to pick a side, all right? And stay there. Pick a partner and rock with that person. It is too dangerous out here in these STI streets, these STD streets, all right? So STI just simply means sexually transmitted infection, while STD means sexually transmitted disease. Same difference. The words are interchangeable. I just started hearing about STIs recent years, all right? I used to always hear about STDs back in the day in school and everything, how they taught you. Like, as a female, when I would go get my pap smears at the doctors and my regular checkups, birth control and stuff like that, they would give you these brief lessons on STDs, and they would have pamphlets and stuff. So this STI thing is like recent years, because when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I never heard of STI day in my life. But recent years, that's the terminology they're using. I guess it's more broad spectrum. So that would make sense. I'm not medical personnel or a physician, so I have no idea. And I also am not affiliated with the CDC, but I just know that term is more commonly used now. So with that being said, yeah, you guys, it is time to pick a side and stay there. Time out for the risky sex and trying to get notches under your belt. So it is time for you to find one clean person who is not sliding with people when you are not looking, when you got your back turned. All right. It's time to find a faithful, loyal person. It's time for you to yourself become a faithful, loyal person if you aren't already one, because life is getting real out here. And life been real in my mind. Like, I never wanted to contract anything that I could not get rid of. Like, that's always been a fear of mine. It's a real rap. But with all, I'm just hoping that people begin to look out at what's going on in the world around them, you guys. Times are more dangerous than they've ever been in our lifetime, all right? I never remember times being this dangerous. So not only do you have the pandemic going on, not only do you have a food shortage and a cash shortage going on, not only is the stock market volatile, okay? And not only is the federal government trying to come in and take all of our civil liberties away from us right from under our noses, but we got these flesh-eating STIs out here. Like, I think this is like This feels like the world war of the worlds or something. Y'all, this feels like some end game stuff. I know we're in the end time, but like all this stuff is just too much. It's too much. But even in it being too much, I don't want to become a part of the equation or add to it. So for me, polygamy is out, monogamy is in. And also, I like to go a little further. If you can, men and women, keep yourself together until marriage, all right? I know that most of us be like, oh no, I got to try things out before I get married. And I need to do this and do that. My whole thing is no, you do not need to try things out. I used to have that same adage, you guys. I used to say, oh, I got to try it out. So even with my ex, I had to try it out. And no matter how small they may be or how well endowed they may be, when it's your person, it works. It just meshes well together. And that was what I learned through my experience when I fell with my ex. So size really don't. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but size really doesn't matter, ladies. All right, when you're in love, it don't. It don't matter. Like for years, like I said, for years I would be one of the ones saying, "No, I need to see, I need to touch, I need to feel." No, but I'm telling you, when it's love, when it's love in the midst of it, or you have a great care or concern for a person, or they just, they're mind blowing to you. This is for men or women. Everything will just line up. I can honestly say that now. All jokes aside, everything lines up. All right. So that's that. Yeah, find you your one person, stick with them. Um, like make it happen. Get to know one another, grow together, grow in God together, pray for each other, cover each other. Do fun things together. Don't just go out to dinner all the time. Go for walks, take trips, go hiking, do stuff that will knit you guys close together. And for the fellas, I know that a lot of times society has tried to convince you that you have to have more than one woman. That is erroneous. I have cousins and friends who are very faithful and very loyal to the women of their choosing. And when I say choosing, it means that they got married. They found wives, they found their good things and married them. Now, are the relationships perfect? Are the marriages perfect? No. Everything comes with its set of problems, but you learn how to work through them when you have love, when you have an understanding. So for that cause, I say find somebody you can build and get an understanding with. So that way, when you do marry said person, when things get rocky in the marriage, you won't be so quick to run or run out on the person that you have made this lifelong commitment to. All right. So with that being said, if you're going to have sex, practice safe sex. If you're going to have sex, get somebody's history. Now, I know you probably like, what about the one night stands and the hookups? Stop having those. They're not godly anyway. Stop having those because they're putting you at risk, all right? So when you have those one night stands with these jump offs, not only are you putting yourself at risk for the donovanosis STI, the flesh eating sexually transmitted disease, but rather you're putting yourself at risk for mono, for herpes, for syphilis, for AIDS, for trichomonias, and for every other kind of STD they got out here in this world. And another one, COVID. Like, COVID is sexually transmitted. Like, so, I mean, as people, we just got to use precaution. But not just in this season, but in seasons to come. And I hope that many of you, most of you, some of you, a few of you have been using precaution over the years, all right? And if you haven't, begin to tighten up. For guys, I know that you probably got it in your mind that it feels better uncovered. And some ladies are like that too. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Some ladies like it raw, okay? Let me keep it quiet over here. At any avail, safety first, you guys. Safety first. So, all right, if you go get your blood workups together and you're both good to go and you know that you two are just seeing each other in that way, which I don't promote sex before marriage because that's fornication. And that's what I meant by I fell. All right. I fell into a state of fornication for a space off and on. So I do not promote fornication. I am a Christian in nature and I believe what the Bible says, all of its tenets, all of its laws, and all of its precepts. So fornication would be a no for me. But if you just had to have it, but if you just have to have it, because I've been there a time or two, especially pre-Christ. Guys, I was told when I was in relationships that I had white liver. All right. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But, if you just have to have it, do it safely, do it responsibly, and take care of yourselves, you guys. And please don't be out here just switching out partners like you switch out shoes, because it is too dangerous out here in these STI, STD streets. Well, that concludes our talk for today. Thank you for joining me for episode 11 of the InHer Circle podcast entitled, This Love Stuff is Demanding. With questions and comments, text 484-393-2730, keyword the InHer Circle Live. To follow the InHer Circle on social media, follow us on Twitter at the InHer Circle _, on Instagram at the InHer Circle _ podcast, and on Facebook at the InHer Circle podcast. For sponsorship opportunities, email inhercirclepodcast@gmail.com. Well, this is MsHoliness signing out. I look forward to you joining me for the next episode where I aspire to lift you higher.